Devils make sneaky signing competition going to be around this summer as Tom Fitzgerald continues to work early on Devils prospects. Implications here. Let's talk about it. Welcome in to Devils Digest. Hit the subscribe button for all the latest news, rumors, and updates regarding the New Jersey Devils, as we want all of you here. 47% of you aren't here right now. We want you all here, all 100%, to break down the summer and see what the Devils are building as we head into next season, what to expect, and what is going to happen. Tom Fitzgerald stays working. Lenni Hameenaho signing his contract today. This is a good one. You go and you look at Hameenaho's, production through the seasons. Massive jump this season. 51 points in 58 games in Liga this year. Had a great year. Look, he's 20 years old, second round draft pick, 2023, and he's already able to sign an NHL contract. Devils clearly like them, and he's not the only one who likes him. This is Craig Button. The first thing that stands out is the speed that he plays with, the ability to attack, push defenders back to create space for himself. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Sounds like a type of player who can make a difference in the NHL. Creativity, dynamic. Those are some of the things that Lenni Hameenaho brings to the table. Now, you can kind of see what Tom Fitzgerald has been doing to start this offseason. Even though, can't do a ton yet, he's finding ways to create competition and, get the probabilities up in terms of goal scoring through cheap deals. I mean, go and look at the Devils' salary cap right now. Now, I know I said a couple episodes, I don't really get the argument when, there's a really good player out there and you got to make the cap work. You make the cap work for those players. But when you can get players with upside, with creativity, who have a chance to make this lineup at cheap deals, you do it. I mean, worst case scenario creates a little bit of extra competition between other players who are trying to make the team, who are trying to be, an impactful player on the team. That's what this does for you, and it's clear that is the route Tom Fitzgerald has taken to start this offseason. Now, am I going out here and I'm saying Lenni Hameenaho is a top 6 fix? No, that's not what I get out of this. I mean, I think it'd be a little bit ridiculous for me to come in here and go, oh, well, you know what? This is our top 6 fix. A player who was drafted in 2023 in the second round, had a really nice year in Liga. He's cheap. We can work with that. No, that's not what I'm saying. Can he fight for a roster spot? I don't see why not. I'm sure they're going to at least give him a chance for that. Now, do they have other guys probably ahead and, an Arseny Gritsyuk and maybe who they signed in the offseason? Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're debating so much on that. But this is a player coming over here who, there's really, what's the risk? He had 51 points in 58 games. Another 20 more points than he had the season before. Year before that, he had 10 extra. He gets better every single season. Go ahead. Look when they drafted him. They drafted him in 2023 at 21 points, 51 games. 2 years later, yeah, you can keep the 50 run around, just put it in the point column. Games played 58, 51 points, 58 games. Basically, a point per game player. Devils felt like it was time to bring him over. Like he can make a difference now. Like he can compete for a roster spot. All those things are on the table in this offseason. It was clear. The Devils, they have to get more scoring. They need more goals. 240 goals last season with a third-ranked power play just doesn't cut it. You need more creativity. We saw as the injuries came around, they started to pile up. We saw a different Devil team. Scoring gone down. You weren't as dominant down the middle of the ice. You struggled. Record got worse. I mean, power play stayed pretty good. So to that 5-on-5, you struggled. You couldn't create. I mean, the matchups just didn't work out. All of a sudden, you had to put the other team's top pairing defense, and you had to pick between Nico, Hischier, and Jack Hughes. Now, all of a sudden, it was just Nico, Hischier. The line, that line. And then it was kind of, just filling in players who were, playing a little bit above their position. Tom Fitzgerald said last year with the goaltending, how we had a goaltending issue. That's not going to happen this season. Yeah, well, Tom Fitzgerald fixed that. Goaltending was great. Jacob Markstrom was great as a backup. Jake Allen was great as a backup. Jacob Markstrom was a good starter. Played probably, was easily the best player for the Devils in the playoffs. So he finds ways to fix things. He's not going to go into the next season with a struggling scoring group. I mean, you saw him today at the press conference. He was just wondering when the depth scoring was going to start. Well, it wasn't. Because you looked at how the team was kind of built toward the end of the season. Depth players were playing in a top 6 role. I've always said it. The best way to build your depth is going out and building your top 6. Because you know what that does? It moves players down the lineup. If you have a third liner in your second line, the answer isn't to go get another third liner. No, that makes no sense. The way to build your third line, go get a second liner, move that third liner playing on the second line, go move him down to the third line. I mean, I saw it a couple times. The Devils at the trade deadline linked to the, third line players. Why give up any assets for that? How much was it going to change the team? If the second line can't score, how's the third line going to score? I mean, that just never made a ton of sense to me. I didn't really get, why we were, linked to teams with, third line players. Even with Jack Hughes in the lineup, they needed a little bit extra scoring up front. When Jack Hughes went down, I mean, we can all figure out what happened there. But they needed extra players in their top 6. They didn't replace Tyler Toffoli during the offseason. They didn't get any, new prospects. Alexander Holtz, they shipped him out. They got much more physical. But as of the physicality, they didn't really get much better scoring. They got worse. Power play was good. 5-on-5, below average. Didn't work. I'm sure Tom Fitzgerald will do the same thing like he did with his goaltending. This is a good signing, though. Definitely potential here. Upside. Could battle for a roster spot. We'll see. He also mentioned Shane LaChance. And then obviously they really signed Arseni Griciuk. So good things happening early for New Jersey. We'll have to keep watching as this offseason just getting around. Draft a little bit away. We'll keep watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let me know in the comments who are you excited coming over for the Devils? Do you have a player in mind? Somebody you're already kind of thinking about during the offseason? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you guys hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys really soon. All right, take care, guys.